Chronicles, a captivating podcast that brings together gaming, cannabis, and engaging conversations.
What is up, levelers? Welcome back to the very first episode of High Level Chronicles in 2025. I'm your host, Chris. As always, my partner in high times, Paul, is with me. What is up, buddy?
Hey, man. It's 2025. I've been jet setting a little bit for the,
I saw
the
that.
holidays.
You went, well, I mean, it says right there on the shirt. Isn't that where you went? California.
Stuff in LAX. Yeah. No, spend holiday, Christmas Eve in LA, New Year's Eve in Baltimore. And yeah, just been traveling a lot and got a lot of family in town now. So doing the uncle thing right now. So
Nice.
yeah. But I don't know. How about you, man?
And same old, same old. You know, Dylan, Christmas, New Year. Went out to a couple places to eat. Good places, man. I ain't been to before. One down, that wine kitchen. I think I talked to you about that the last episode. Going to the wine kitchen. We went there for Christmas. Our New Year's dinner. Usually we cook something or make like finger foods that night and then, whatever. But this time we decided to go out. We went and got hibachi. So other than that,
I knew a number of people who did hibachi on New Year's Eve.
Bro,
I didn't know that was a thing.
we literally went thinking, luckily I made a reservation. I don't know what made me inclined to make a reservation. Actually, yeah, that place, I don't know, either way. There's two places in Frederick, right? There's Miyako and Matsutake. So
Yeah.
we were trying to go to Miyako. They didn't take reservations. Matsutake did. And I said, you know what? As we're on our way, because we passed Miyako to come all the way down to Matsutake. So I said, well, let's just stop in, because that's my favorite one, is Miyako. But they didn't take reservation. I'm like, it's New Year's Eve. Are people really going to be at fucking hibachi on New Year's Eve? Come on.
Yes.
It's like, well, come to find out, it was packed. But luckily, we had went later than normal, because usually we eat dinner at like 6:30. And we went at like 8. And we went and we said, how long for 2? And he said, give me 5 minutes. I said, shit, all right, bet.
There
We
you
got
go.
seated right away. Had some filet and lobster. Yeah, buddy. Good shit.
Fogo
But-
de Chao is an experience for Baltimore.
That's
That they had down there. Just meats, just coming up straight to your table.
the
But
Brazilian
on the pricey
steakhouse.
side, the Brazilian, Argentine.
Yeah,
as
it's
well,
definitely
and-
pricey. I've been to
Yeah.
a couple of them, and one not so pricey. I think it was like $40 a person or something like that for their biggest
this
one.
was a
Yeah,
lot,
no,
yeah.
I know Fogo's a lot more than that, and that one was horrible. But I've been to some of the fancier ones. But anyway, Happy New Year, levelers. 2025 is here. I'm feeling ready to take this year to the next level, bro. What about you?
Yeah. Level
I
up,
mean,
man.
New Year, same vibe, right? But for those tuning in for the first time, welcome to the podcast where video games, cannabis, entertainment all meet in the most epic way possible. You never know what road we're going to end up on as we go down our episodes. We usually have an idea and a theme of what we're going to talk about, but sometimes it just goes way off and what happens. But
Yeah.
as always, you know how we like to kick things off. The Leveled Up segment. This is where we check in with you all, the levelers, see what you've been leveling up on, whether it's a killer strain, a wild gaming session, or a show you just couldn't pause or put down. And of course, Paul and I will share what we've been leveling up on too. But actually, you know what, Paul? What's been in your rotation lately, man? What have you been leveling up on?
Well, man, I have been playing some Grim Dawn, which is a game I had never heard of from 2 weeks ago. And a friend of mine was like, hey, they're doing a sale on Steam, $2.49 for this 2016 ARPG game. And he bought it for all of us. He's like, if you don't like it, I'm down, $250 or whatever, but just try it out. And I did, and I'm hooked, man. This is it's a fun kind of, if you like a Diablo kind of style game, a lot of customization, classes, not open world, but like, you kind of go through a very large world, and just mowing down tons of enemies, a lot of fun. And then I don't know exactly what I've been eating. I have a friend of mine who gave me an unlabeled can of gummies. He said they're milligram stuff, but they're delicious, and they really put you in a very serene just vibe. I was at his house, so we were
Are they
playing a
homemade?
board game. No, shit, maybe. I really don't know. I didn't ask a lot of questions. I was just like, hey man, I'm in your house, and he's like, here, just take these. And I was like,
Hey, man, I
All
got
right.
this white powder over here. Just try it.
No, because I was actually telling him about the podcast, and he's like, "Oh shit, let me go upstairs and see if you like this." And I was like, "All right." And I tried one, and he's like, "I'm on one right now," and we had a
But
great
that's definitely
great day
homemade.
together.
Yeah, that's definitely homemade shit.
So yeah, so I can't say what it is because I don't know. But and then I've been watching or getting ready to watch some Severance on
Have
Apple
you ever watched that?
Plus. Well, I watched the first season. Second season's about to come out,
Shit,
or
is it?
maybe
I gotta catch up.
or maybe it's
Look,
already out. Yeah,
I
sometime in
didn't know.
January.
That show's great.
Yo, it's been like 2 years or a year and a half.
I forgot about it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Severance is coming back for season 2, and I'm very excited to get back.
January 17th.
There you go.
The only thing it is we won't watch it till probably summer because we'll wait till they get all the episodes fucking released because it's one of those one episode a week ones. That's what I don't like waiting on. I got to binge it. We got to get through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, my wife is like, as soon as it come out, that's what we're doing. We're not watching anything else because that's like her.
We only did that with
show.
Yellowstone since it was the final season of Yellowstone. We only did it with that one. Watched it each night.
Yeah, I heard they're coming out with a prequel now.
I don't even care anymore what they got. They ruined it.
Oh, they did. I watched the first couple seasons of Yellowstone.
The first 3 seasons were great. Yeah. I see you got some high nine there. What's your flavor?
We were rocking, I think, some blackberry tonight.
Shit.
Yeah,
We're
blackberry.
blackberry buddies, except I got the caffeine free. Because,
I need a little kick tonight. Yeah.
I don't.
Then, want to tell me about your level up, or should we go to the levelers?
Shit. Nah, bro. So over the holidays, I discovered this new strain.
Okay.
Called Cosmic Cookies.
Sounds delicious.
It is. It's got that sativa punch that gets me, kind of wired or whatever, but also kind of zen, if that makes any sense at all. That makes sense. Perfect for the winter gaming binging of Marvel Rivals. Yeah, buddy.
See, you've been on that a lot. Yeah.
Bruh, I'm trying. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm a big Marvel fan as it is. So Overwatch was one of the big games I really liked, and it's just a reskin of Overwatch by Marvel with Marvel characters. But we'll talk about Overwatch here in a little bit, though.
We will. Yeah.
But also, we finished up, of course.
Oh, man.
Yeah, great. I don't. People hate on it. They're mad because they split it into this season and one more, season 3, which comes out this year. I'm liking it, bro. You gotta look up Thanos if you don't watch it. Did you watch the first season of Squid Games?
Yeah.
Have you not watched the second season yet?
No.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it. Thanos, best character on there by far. By far, he's the best character on there. He's a fucking rapper. He's a K-pop rapper that lost all his money on fucking Bitcoin investment. Well, the guy that he invested with is also in there. But this dude just is like
fun.
fucking happy-go-lucky. He fucking popping Molly or some shit all the time that he snuck in. Yeah, dude, he's wild. But yeah, the new Squid Games, we watched it. We actually just started that. We finished it. And we just started the latest season of Lincoln Lawyer because we haven't got to it yet. So watching it now.
I've seen promos for that.
Yeah, good show. But that, of course, like I said, High Nine. Gotta love my High Nine. Dude, this has been perfect for the game, for the Marvel and shit, man. Just keep me focused. Just give me that little bit of energy, a little bit of focus, all natural, no added sugar. But now that we've shared, man, let's hear from what the leveler's been up to. Paul, do we have any feedback on social media?
Yeah, a little more than usual, I would say. So, let's kick it out with...
It's a little more than usual, or we just add a couple more than usual? Either way.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Either way, we got Cardi Prime 02 coming in first with What's Up, Broskies? I've been dabbing on some strain called Space Nebula. I also dove back into Cyberpunk 2077 now that it's actually playable. Heard the bugs were real when it first came out.
Bro, when that game first came out, I bought it launch because it came out with the Xbox. I bought the Xbox Series X when it launched. And I thought, what a perfect game. It's made for it. You know what I'm saying? Next gen graphics. And bro, that game couldn't even fucking play it. It was so buggy.
2023 Phantom Liberty update fixed so much. And let me tell you, Night City looks gorgeous when you're high and cruising around in a flying car. I bet. I have
It
not.
is
I've not.
I mean, I'm not going to. It did have the game, even though it was buggy. It was decent, but I just couldn't handle the bugs. You know, with a new gen, so you don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to deal with bugs when a game launches. You want to play and just play. For when it keeps kicking you off and shutting down, none of that. But I've heard from a lot of people that I guess it was that update, the Phantom Liberty update, really fixed pretty much everything and made it completely like it should have begun to begin with.
Yeah, that was kind of a letdown from what I heard, but glad to see that it's up and running.
I actually, you know what? That game, I just did a poll with the gaming website just not too long ago. It said there was, what is your worst day one game purchase that you wish you could get back? And that was mine. That was what I listed. I wish I could get that money back from purchasing that. I don't ever say it about games. Usually I always find, just I can play games, but yeah. Might have to check it back out again. I might have to come, get it, but maybe not. We got a lot of shit coming out in 2025.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll talk about that too, man. Anyway, we also got at Jeb Mayo 30.
Jeb. I think I played with him on Marvel Rivals.
Well, he's been binging The Witcher Season 5 while on this wild strain called Dragon's Breath. The two pair perfectly, especially when Geralt goes full beast mode. Is that the newest season? Are we on Season 5 already? With with Chris Evans? Or somebody have? It's not Harry Cavill anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for when it does come out. If it is out, then that is great news. We got Lindsay H as well. She says, I've been into some Blue Train, perfect for staying creative and focused.
Classic.
Oh, yeah. I've been diving into Hades again. The graphics and gameplay still hold up, and I've been watching Arcane on Netflix. The animation is just out of this world, especially when you're slightly elevated.
Yes.
So true.
Preach. Arcane is the best. And Hades, we're going to talk about Hades.
We are going to talk about Hades a little bit.
It's on my list.
It's on.
It was on the list. It has to be on the list. It was okay. Anyway,
and then Michael D says, I've been dabbing in some old school nostalgia. I broke out the Switch and revisited The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. That game came out like 2 years ago, but okay, nostalgia. I hear you. Great game.
Maybe he's talking about the Legend of Zelda part.
The Tears of the Kingdom was the...
Yeah, but I'm just saying Legend of Zelda, nostalgic, Nintendo.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe. But either way, we ain't holding against you, Michael D.
Nah, it's a great game. I can't hate with that. And as for cannabis, I've been vibing on the indica dominant hybrid called Deep Sleep OG. Perfect for when I need to wind down after chasing bokoblins for hours. Bokoblins. Yeah, bokoblins.
Well,
yeah.
It looks like the new year's starting off right with our levelers. That's a good thing. Remember, keep sending in your thoughts, what you're leveling up on. Send it over, highlevelchronicles.com, or hit us up on any of your favorite socials at HLC Podcast 420. What do you say, man? You want to dive into the main topic? We're going to be talking about the top games through the last decade. So Game of the Year winners from the Video Game Awards and what's hot on the horizon. What's coming out this year.
So 2014 to 2024.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Paul and I went back over the last decade. So like you said, 2014, 2024, looked at what won Game of the Year for each year via Video Game Awards. And we're either going to agree, disagree, and maybe disagree with the winner and then give our thoughts.
Fight it out.
You know, maybe we'll end up coming out with something. But all right, man.
I have some thoughts, man.
I do too. I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts. I have some thoughts, but let's get 2014. That's the year. 2014 is when we had Bayonetta 2. We had Dark Souls 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft, and Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. With the winner that year being, of course, Dragon Age Inquisition, which I'm not sure I agree with that one. That game came out after a very, very mid, is that the word that they're using nowadays? A very, 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 very mid Dragon Age 2.
Right. And so I'm not super into the Dragon Age or in like plugged into. I am playing Dragon Age Inquisition right now. I'm sort of dabbing back in and out of it.
All right.
I like
years
it.
Later,
I like it a lot.
It's all good.
It is 10 years later. Sometimes I'll see, hey, this one Game of the Year can't be awful. And so I am finding it a little slow, but it is your kind of typical 4-party, but like from a first person point of view, or third person, I guess. And you kind of go through these worlds, you kind of rebuild this kingdom. You start the Inquisition and try to get people from different factions to join you, and make gear builds and things like that. And I think I think back 10 years ago, I think that for the graphics and the story play, the in-depth, the lore, like it's very lore heavy, which I like.
Some people some people really do like the lore heavy games. That's a big, lore is huge on games. I mean, even in Marvel Rivals right now, the lore plays a big part in the game. So,
oh yeah, we got Marvel goes back decades with the lore, but I'm going to agree. I like it. I'm currently playing. It's 10 years later. I think it really holds up well. If I didn't know it was a 2014 game, I would have said probably a little later in the 20 teens. So I'm gonna agree. Well, what would you go with?
For me in 2014, it would have been Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, was that one even nominated?
Yep, it wasn't even nominated. And here's why I think, this is just my opinion, it came out later in the year. And if I remember right, it was like November. So it was really late in the year. So it didn't get the hype for the awards beforehand. They had already probably had these award nominees made out by then. But it came out so late that year that it even missed the 2015 award list. So Grand Theft Auto 5 has never been in a Game of the Year award nominee. But that would have been my pick for 2014.
That was, like I said, San Andreas?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So speaking of 2015, when that should have made the list, it had a great year of gaming, with the games rounding out the top list being Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Super Mario Maker, and of course, I know you're going to agree with this fucking winner this year. The winner of that year was The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. So I got to agree.
That's a stats class, though.
I mean, it is a big class. I agree. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, man, the game had it all, right? It had an amazing open world, deep storytelling, some of the best side quests in gaming history. I mean, plus, it was the first game that made me go, wait, am I more emotionally invested in this card game like Gwent than the actual main quest?
Love me some Gwent.
So,
it inspired me to read the entire Witcher series. I'm on like the last kind of epilogue book now, but I've done all the complete novels. Like I think it was like 5 of them or something. I was like, damn, I gotta get into this world, because I have never even like thought about The Witcher. I think I saw like Witcher 2 come out when I was younger, or maybe even Witcher 1, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but it really opened, and then also with the Netflix series, of course, too.
Oh, yeah,
but it was a whole new world that opened me up to, and I was just like, this is amazing. Yeah,
that was a stacked class that year. I mean, Fallout 4, Bloodborne, Metal Gear. I mean, it was just it was that. But for me though, in 2015, the one I played the most that I thought was a game changer, so to speak, was Rocket League.
That's a big one.
I thought Rocket League would have been in that list because it was like, soccer, cars. I mean,
that was maybe just it wasn't as in depth, because I know I had a lot of friends play Rocket League, and
it's not about playing. It's just like with FPSs, right? With like Call of Duty, they never make the list, even though they've been some of the most biggest selling games ever. But that was 2015, and then 2016. That one, man, that was also a big year. Some big hits that year. Yeah, games like Doom, Inside, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, and Uncharted 4: Thieves In. But this is definitely a year I think that they got it right for sure. Overwatch, Blizzard's
can't disagree with
team shooter was such a game changer. It's the only game where I actually had fun losing most of the time. The character designs, the team play, the constant updates that kept it fresh. Yeah,
Blizzard's a heavy hitter when they come out with something. Yeah, it's gonna win. I mean, with the success of StarCraft, Warcraft, the world of Warcraft, and just it's still going. I haven't played WoW in years, but they're still making updates and patches. All the Diablo series. So they make good
2016
stuff.
That Doom. Did you ever play the Doom in 2016? That soundtrack, dude. Chef's Kiss, Blasting Demons, while Mick Gordon's heavy metal tracks melt my brain. Pure adrenaline. You know what I'm saying? That was a good one.
Yeah. The stats
2017?
class for sure.
I don't think that there's any debate about that one either. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, beat out Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battleground, and Super Mario Odyssey. But The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, it redefined what open world gamings were and what they could be. That game.
Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey came in strong, but it just Legend of Zelda was a revolutionary game. I had just gotten, I think, a Switch at that time, and I was just like, "Oh, we've gone to the next level here of what this kind of game can be." At the time, the best ARPG I think I've ever seen.
Now, did you play PUBG? Did you ever play PUBG?
I did not play PUBG. No.
I couldn't get into it. It was so bad. The graphics, it was just, I don't know. I know it was a big game. It ended up being better. But 2017 for me, man, like I said, I don't disagree with Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I don't disagree one bit. But that's also the year that Fortnite came out. And that game definitely redefined third-person shooters. You know what I mean? It didn't even make the list. Probably because it was a free-to-play. Well, I'm saying, when it comes to shooters, in particular shooters, they never make any gaming list besides that category, you know, a niche category that they have. It's because most people, when it comes to games, you can tell just by the list of doing your research for this and knowing every year, they like the lore. They like those deep storytelling games that make you immersed into it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's why I think I've agreed with a good number of them. But yeah, I mean, just looking at kind of the list of what we've talked about already and what we're going to be talking about, a lot of these are lore-based, open world, kind of fantasy type RPGs or ARPGs. Yep.
And that's what people love. I mean,
or at least with the gaming
gaming community prefers that. True gamers will say they get I mean, all right, let me rephrase this. It's not true gamers. I say true.
Right.
Most people look up on Call of Duty, Fortnite, just as those bullshit microtransactions. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're looking at. That's why they don't win this shit. Any game with stuff like that, where you can buy skins, buy this, buy that, they don't ever win or come into that. You know what I'm saying?
Just money grabbing, microtransactions.
They're the biggest. There's a reason that those are the biggest money making games every year, though. I mean, you could do a whole episode on the top grossing video games of the last decade, and it would be nothing close to this list.
Make me sad.
Dude, it would be nothing fucking close to this list because I looked it up while I was doing research, and I'm like, there's no way, because I'm like looking at the list of everything because I couldn't remember all of them. It's been so long, and I'm like, what was this year? I'm like, wait, what? This the year that this came out? Like, the fuck? Like, I know what people were playing, where all the players were. I don't know. Our game awards and game of the year, are they biased? Do you think the companies have a little bit of extra in there?
I don't know.
That's a whole other topic. Here we go.
I feel like if for Grand Theft Auto, that definitely should have been at least recognized. And for it to just be snubbed like that, maybe they don't care. Like, if they know that the release date is going to be kind of squished in between years and not be that of a high profile. I don't know, though.
All right, let's move. 2018, man, that was a controversial year because it had some solid titles come out.
Yes,
we're talking Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and of course, Red Dead Redemption 2. And what won that year?
That was God of War.
God of War. But
disagree.
I don't agree with it at all. One bit. Me neither. I don't agree with it. I'd have to go with Red Dead 2.
That is what I would go with as well. And I did see other gaming institutions, I don't know what they're called, critiquers, critics, I don't know. They gave Red Dead the nod, but we're going off the
video game
most
awards.
Populous. Yeah, so, but Monster World 2 was also just kind of...
Dude, Marvel's Spider-Man game change. Spider-Man was a beautiful game. But I'm just going to say, I still have nightmares about Dutch's plans. So, I mean, God of War, though, Kratos and the boy took storytelling to the next level. So that's why it's those deep immersion games, man. That's what. But here's the question, too. Think about this now that we're talking about. Who makes Red Dead Redemption 2?
Is that Rockstar?
Yeah. And who makes Grand Theft Auto?
Rockstar.
See there's something here?
I mean, like I said, it did get recognized elsewhere, and it did get a nomination. But and I guess I don't know, because we're talking about like what do all these games or a lot of these games have in common? They have a fantasy lore. They have like a open world and stuff. And Red Dead Redemption has that, but not the fantasy aspect. And I wonder if that is what's like holding it back. You got a loose wire. Sorry. Live show, folks. All right, we're good. But you know, just sort of back to what I was saying is it's like a Wild West thing, and I don't know if that theme was rated lower than a sort of ancient Greece mythology kind of thing, which is pretty popular, like kind of timeless. So I don't know, or it could be nothing. Did have to do with it, but
yeah. So let's talk about 2019. That was the year before all hell broke loose in the world. We had games like Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, the remake. It was the remake. Yeah. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and The Outer Worlds, and Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. All great games. And Control is one I actually just started recently. But Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, another From Software title, deserved every bit of the attention. I mean, it garnered the universal acclaim from PlayStation 4, Xbox One versions. What do you think?
this may be controversial. I disagree. I think Outer Worlds was, and again, recognized elsewhere, but that Outer World, which I've just started the game, but I can tell that there's a reason why it garnered the attention it did, of the open world, the kind of unique aspect where there's a lot of space games, but
Right. I mean,
but it has like a, kind of a
Death
different twist
Stranding?
on it. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and I'm a sucker for Super Smash Bros. Games. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is something my friends and I play all the time.
I keep trying to get my wife to play that just to get her into another game besides Mario Kart. Like anything. I'm trying. It's a fun game. It's just a...
It is because it's just kind of like because I played Super Smash since like the 90s, like on N64, and all the iterations after, and it just keeps getting better and better. And this is the ultimate one. Like, there's just a ridiculous amount of characters. The solo play is beyond just leaps and bounds anything that the solo play of previous Super Smash games, and there's nothing really sort of like, I mean, there are fighting games, but just Super Smash is just this very distinct flavor to it. And I know Sekiro also looks good. It's a tough call. That one also had a lot of hard hitters.
I know we're going to hear from our levelers and saying that, again, Fortnite that year, COD, Modern Warfare, biggest grossing games of the year. But again, shooters rarely ever make the list of game of the year because there's no real story to it. I think that's what, like I said, it has to be story motivated.
Yeah, lore based.
I don't know. Moving on to 2020, man. What games were nominated that year?
So we had a good amount of them. 2020, we had Hades, which talked about in the level up section. Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing New Horizon, and The Last of Us Part 2.
I'm guessing that Paul is an Animal Crossing New Horizons fan. Am I right?
I'm actually not. No, my wife is, though. That's the one game I could get her into.
Oh, shit.
So we
I
have
because
the
you play that other
pandemic
one. You play that other one. What's that one?
Stardew Valley?
Yeah, Stardew Valley. So
yeah, no, I never really could get into Animal Crossing. It's not my jam. My sisters love it, and I know a lot of people, that was like their game for for the pandemic. Like, everyone just started to make these Animal Crossing villages, and I guess you could connect and visit other people.
It started off as a mobile game, right?
No, it started off as a GameCube game. Yeah. I had to kick my sisters off the GameCube when the Animal Crossing came out, and because I was like, "What are you guys doing? It's my game." Like, and they're like, "No, we want to play Animal Crossing." They would play it for hours, and I was like, "Oh, damn! I guess there's something for everyone," because I never could get into it. And that would have been my pick.
I found out my brother-in-law, or I think it was my brother-in-law, plays some fucking farm simulator or some shit at night.
Oh my God, I've heard of those. I don't get it.
I don't know. I think that's what it was. Maybe it was Goat Simulator. I don't know.
No, there is a farm simulator that came out around this time.
I don't think an Animal Crossing got me thinking.
But I don't,
about that.
I don't yuck people's yum. If that's what they're into, that's cool. So I don't know if I said the winner. The winner was yeah.
No.
Nope.
It was The Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us Part 2. We're on 2020. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I'd definitely go with The Last of Us Part 2. But I respect your chill island vibes and your Animal Crossing, whatever. I mean, I have said it on the podcast. I've said it everywhere. The Last of Us is probably one of my favorite games of all time. So it only makes sense for me to go with the one that won that year. Last of Us Part 2. Another great game. Another immersive story.
It's like I'm looking, this is maybe the one year where I'm looking at all the titles and I was like, any of these could have won. Like,
I mean, people playing Hades.
Hades is huge and did get, recognized elsewhere, but Animal Crossing, and maybe that was just sort of my demographic where I just see go on Facebook and people are like, check out my little village or whatever, and everyone's stuck inside is the pandemic, and that is what I saw a lot of people gravitate to as like a kind of mindless, fun, cutesy, whatever that kind of anyone can get into. But yeah, no, Last of Us 2, solid. That's the exact
reason why 2024 got it what it got, but we'll get to that. Let's talk 2021. We had Deathloop. Right. We had It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. And I think just the last episode, or maybe the one prior, I talked about playing It Takes Two and how the story so emotional, great fun, chill game. And so I can definitely see how it won Game of the Year that year.
So this is the game, and I was kind of just looking into it today. You can only play with someone else.
Yes.
Hence, It Takes Two.
Yep. But that's the one I told you about. Since I own it, you can give a friend code and somebody else can join you and play without paying. Because you can join that since that person has it. In that game, it's like, yeah, I can definitely see how it won. Like I said, I'm repeating myself, but I've only played maybe a half hour and I can already see how it won that year.
Well, when you look at it,
it is an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I think that's what it pulls on. It's not fantasy. It's not, I mean, I guess there's some not so much lore, but like storytelling and just a very unique concept of this does not have a single player option. There is no solo mode, and it's not party mode. You need one other person to stay with you and get you through the levels and
because you cannot do it alone
and things like that. Yeah,
it's impossible.
Which is also, the parents are trying to get back together. So
I've heard that this game has brought couples together and it has torn couples apart.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Because people get so bad. You can't make this jump. I've seen videos of people raging. Most of social media we all know is staged, but it's still funny as hell.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so I can see how it wants. So if you ever want to play, man, I got it. All we got to do is hop in. It's a fun little game.
And I wonder if because that strikes me as maybe the weakest field. Not to, shit on those games. They're, Resident Evil, it's good.
Yeah,
Ratchet & Clank. But if I had to pick one, I was like, I guess, the uniqueness of the It Takes Two game is like, I get it.
Yeah, I would say that year didn't have a lot. I mean, to me, it didn't have a lot of bangers of games that still stand out to this day. Does that make sense?
Like, it was only 3 years
still
ago.
Stands out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, how many people are talking about Deathloop still? You know what I'm saying? Ratchet and Clank. Nobody's playing that shit now. You know what I mean?
These are
Resident
big...
Evil still is that's a different. If Resident Evil is one of those, you're either a Resident Evil fan or you're not. And I'm not. I really never cared for him, but it's not my thing.
Yeah. But, big big producer. I mean, Bethesda, Nintendo, Xbox, Sony, like these are all they all
for
come
sure,
out
for
with good
sure.
stuff.
All right,
All right, but
2022,
how about we go to
the year
2022, baby?
of Elden Ring.
Yo,
It beat out games like God of War, Ragnarok. It beat out Horizon Forbidden West, Prey, Xenoblade
Xenoblade.
Chronicles 3, A Plague Tale Requiem. No doubt on Elden Ring, right? I mean,
No, like that Elden Ring. I mean, I know it. The Dark Souls have been around prior and had led up to it, but Elden Ring, it was like an instant classic in my mind. Just iconic, from the open world to the it's just such a beautiful game, like a beautifully tragic game.
now,
With creative monsters and bosses and everything.
the big difference here in these, like you're talking Elden Ring, dude, the vastness of the open world alone was a game changer. Nothing came close to it. Like you said, the graphics and everything, it was a very dark game, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, Elden Ring's a dark game. And you paired that against Horizon Forbidden West, which a very beautiful game, very bright, vibrant, like a very, just completely different style of game. And that was a great year for games. I mean, that was a big year. I mean, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring took it, no doubt about it. But
Elden Ring is a mood. Like, it's, I'm still bouncing in and out of Elden Ring sometimes. I'll put it down for a couple months and then be like,
massive, dude.
It's so hard to come back because of all the muscle memory I had of the dodges and the attacks and what I had going on. But how about we talk about last year? How about we talk about 2023?
2024?
No, 2 years ago.
Yeah, see, caught
you. Yeah, where we had Alan Wake 2, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and the winner, Baldur's Gate 3. I certainly have no disagreement with that. I don't know. Have you gotten into Baldur's Gate 3?
So I'm going to be 100% honest here. I've never played Baldur's Gate 3, but I have watched some gameplay and read articles about it, whatever. And I can see the hype, where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
I was just never a D&D fan. This game just wasn't one that I was ever interested in. I did, however, love playing Overwatch 2, which dropped that year. Crazy to me how it wasn't even on the list, considering it won Game of the Year back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But
Larian Studios does not have a whole bunch of games to its name. It has the Divinity series, which I've played and is very similar to Elden Ring, where you have just these characters that have a very elaborate backstories. You kind of go from Act 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then that was a beautiful game. And then they come out with Baldur's Gate 3, which, like, 20 years or so after Baldur's Gate 2. Like, if you've ever looked at Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, it's all very kind of 8-bit or even less type of game that came out in the 90s or early 2000s. And Baldur's Gate 3 is just, again, with the story, the kind of open world. Like, there's obviously boundaries, but it's something that just has gotten so much hype, and deservedly so. Like, there's people, like, I see people talk about on Reddit, like their Baldur's Gate 3 roll through and they're playing the Dark Urge, or they're playing as a good character, or the replayability, which I don't think we've talked about in a lot of these games, is something I think that they take into account. And you could just play so many different variations, from classes to races to how you want to role play it. I certainly understand why it got the hype and the nod for 2023.
Yeah, I can see it. How I'm so kind of surprised Legend of Zelda didn't win, though.
It was, I mean, I saw other lists, but
like I said, it was a tough year, though. Resident Evil 4, like you said, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Legend of Zelda. I mean, it was a tough year.
This was a year for a lot of sequels.
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2, The Legends of Zelda, the second one of the Kingdom, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, another Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
So a lot of those games you had seen earlier iterations in the past couple of years. Baldur's Gate, no one had seen that since like 2002 or something.
Well, and to round out our decade of Game of the Year, 2024, just a few days ago. That list was a tough one for sure.
A lot of hitters on that.
We did. We had Astrobot, which was a PS5 exclusive. Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadows of the Erd Tree, which was just an expansion pack of the original Elden Ring. So it wasn't really a standalone game. Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth, Metaphor, Refantasio. What else was there? Balatro? Is that how you say that one? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, how good is Shadow of the Erd Tree that it's not even a standalone game
And it still
gets nominated?
Yeah, I was surprised it even made it, honestly. I really didn't think it was even be on there. But I really thought that Black Myth Wukong was going to win this one. Due to just the massive hype surrounding it.
That's what I had, yeah.
But, like you mentioned earlier, Astrobot proved that those like little family-style, wholesome games can win everyone over. Like, everyone. And that's exactly what Astrobot was. And I've heard nothing. I have not heard one complaint about Astrobot from anybody I know that's played it.
See, I don't have a PS5, so I was...
So,
yeah, I wasn't familiar with it. It did look like it was something that, more people could get into. So if you have a bigger audience, I can understand why it wins that. And also just kind of a weird, so Final Fantasy VII, like just the game came out somewhere in the mid to, I think, maybe early to 2010. But, a long time ago, and this is the second time in the last 10 years one of its like remakes had made the top 10.
Wait,
or
bro,
top
you're
list.
wrong. You're way off.
When did 7 come out?
1997.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Way earlier than that.
Way earlier than.
So, but that just sort of is my point. Is like this game came out a long time ago, and in the last 10 years, 2 of its remakes. It had Rebirth in 2024. And just Final Fantasy VII Remake in 2020. And just like how, like I know I'm not super into the Final Fantasy whole saga, but it just seems like 7 is the one I'm hearing over and over again is the best. I have it on my Switch. I think probably the remake of 2020, and I don't know. I don't really get it, but I know people who are really into that are...
Yeah, and that's the same thing, Final Fantasy VII did that, like Balatro. I mean, that was a mobile game. It's like a poker game.
It's a 2024 poker-themed roguelike deck building.
Yeah, it was definitely a wild list, like a very wide, different type of games, right? I mean, did you see that... Metaphor, Refantasmo.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at that now.
That was like
an
RPG. That was it's like an anime style. You know what I'm saying? That's like an anime style game.
Yeah, by Sega. Yeah,
I think those are going to be like the next thing. Like people are really going to get into anime games.
You think that's a new thing?
Anime's it's getting bigger.
They're coming
and bigger.
back.
It's getting bigger and bigger every day.
How do you feel about anime?
I love anime.
I was very big in the Toonami scene on Cartoon Network. Like after school cartoons, just flip it over there with Tom and Toonami and get my Dragon Ball Z. What else they have? Yu-Gi-Oh! And Sailor Moon at one point. I was like,
hey, Sailor Moon's a great one. So that's one that, if you've never watched anime, that's probably a good one to start with. Arcane is an excellent one to start with. I mean, You can't get any better than that to start with for getting into it because it's just beautiful.
Yeah, I saw that it got snubbed for the Fallout. I think we had talked about that. I'm watching Fallout now. I'm be like, all right, I gotta see what the hype is.
It's a good show. I mean, Fallout's really good. It is. But like I said, I thought Black Myth Wukong would be the winner, based upon everything.
Yeah.
Right. But Astrobot got it. But let's talk 2025, man. What are some games that we are all hyped for? So 2025 is shaping up to be a monster year in video games. I mean, Definitely got my eyes on quite a few games. You know what I'm saying? Quite a few.
Yeah, no, I have a number. So I don't know if this is something down your alley, but if you've ever played like the Civilization type games. So
I mean, I know what they are. I never got into them.
Civ 5 for me was the first one I played, and I was just like, holy shit! Like, and that, but I'm a big like history geography nerd. Civ 6 came out a year or two ago, and I was like, this isn't great. But Civ 7 coming out 2025. Highly anticipated, one of like the top games that's anticipated for 2025, and you can count me among that list. It looks a lot better than some of the weird but risky stuff they did in Civ 6. So I'm hyped for that game to see if it's holds up to the legacy that is the Civilization franchise.
That's cool. Definitely.
Well, I got a few more, but we can kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, one I'm thinking of, there's big games. Kind of one that Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
it's been what almost 15 years since Skyrim.
Is it for sure coming out in 2025? Because I find that
they're
hard
saying,
to believe.
that's what it's saying now. It's if you look everything up, it's on the list now. I don't know, but
I think that may be a 2026. But if it's coming out 2025, I'm definitely yeah.
It's been what, 15 years? Has it been 15 years since Skyrim?
Skyrim came out in 2011, right, or 2010. So it's been almost 15 years. I'm gonna say 2011 finally.
2011. That's 2011.
Here we go.
So, but that's better fucking deliver. You know what I'm saying?
I've been doing a little Elder Scrolls Online, and I've played I don't know how many times they re-released Skyrim, and I, bought the DLCs and stuff. Now they're doing a remake of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which is a very good game. I can't get too behind like the 2006-ish graphics or so, but I was like, shit, if they remake that and they do it well, that's coming out next year, and I'm excited. But I'm also kind of wishing, like, can you stop re-releasing all your old games, just making them look prettier and just give us, new content? But the Elder Scrolls series is definitely something I'm excited about, whether it be 6 or the remake of 4.
That's what I'm saying. We'll see. They say it's come out this year, but we know what happens with gaming in the gaming world.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. They have a Fable is coming out in 2025. I think the newest edition, which is not something I've gotten into a lot in the past, but I've read a lot about it. And I was like, should I get it? And I was like, I'm just gonna wait for the 2025 version of Fable and the newest release. And that
I've heard that there's talk about that being turned into a series.
I'm sure it'd be an amazing series.
We'll see.
But that, the name itself, it goes into these, ancient stories and stuff. So that has an interesting flair to it that I'm definitely going to be checking out this year.
One on my list is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I played Vampire the Masquerade like crazy. It's, the first one was set in Prague. And it's like different character, you're vampires and you're attacking. It's sort of like Fortnite in a sense, because it's it shrinks down the map in sizes and everything. And it was on Steam. I think it was free. I got it when it was free. And
nice.
But the new one, see, they quit developing the old one. They still update the servers. They still do everything, but they quit. There's no new stuff, right? We know because the new one's coming out this year, and they say it's taking place in Seattle. So you're fighting your way through a modern day Seattle on the brink of like an open war as an elder vampire.
Oh, geez.
So you meet the power players, ally yourself, and decide who's going to rule and what the city will become. So I'm really looking forward to it if it's anything like the last.
So is that like an RPG or a first person?
It's a first person shooter. It's a third person shooter.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Last one I had was Assassin's Creed 7. This is the one in Japan. It's a little bit. So I was like, I wonder if this is going to be like the Syracuse, the Shadows Die Twice, where that they have Shogun on FX. Like there just seems to be kind of that kind of like what people are into right now is this sort of ancient Japanese medieval like kind of era of the shogunate and the ninja, samurai, like that kind of stuff. Wukong also, had that vibe. So
I can't
we'll
believe
see
that's all
how
you had.
Assassin's Creed does it. Yeah. Well, hit me with. I feel like I just kind of rapid fired it. You give me some yours.
Doom, The Dark Ages. Oh, a prequel to the Doom series, focusing on the medieval settings and introducing new weapons, new enemies. I think that's going to be a big hit. I think another big one that people are going to be excited for, I think, is another game from Sega, which is Virtua Fighter. I mean, the Virtua Fighter original dropped in, 1993? Something like that. And it was blocky, plainly detailed polygon fighters were, revolutionary in 1993 and were responsible for the game's distinctive look. According to OneUp, it was the first game to implement polygonal 3D human characters in a useful way with physics, and it led the way in establishing, 3D games. So Virtua Fighter is a huge one that I think could be a big game coming out. Another I'm looking forward to, I think it'll be cool, is Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I mean, it's only been snippets of the game, but it looks like Mario Kart in the Sega world. So I think that'll be a fun one.
It's like, all right.
Yeah, you pick your characters racing through different Sega courses and Sega worlds. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Did you see there's a new Pac-Man, but it's dark?
I
think
remember
it's
hearing
called
something about it. I can't remember exactly
Shadow
what it was.
Labyrinth, because I saw that as something that's coming out, and it's like
I think
a
that
Pac-Man.
they showed that at the Game Awards. I think so.
A lot of people say, "What the fuck?" About this, where Pac-Man is like a demon, and has all these teeth. I have no idea if that would be cool or not, but it looks cool. But I'm surprised you didn't say Grand Theft Auto 6.
Bro, I'm not even done yet.
Shit, I bet.
See, Grand Theft Auto 6. That was actually gonna be my last, but I guess I got a new last. But I'm highly anticipated for its return to Vice City with new gameplay mechanics, expansive open world. They say it's gonna be just as big as Elden Ring. I mean, the GTA series are fun as shit, bro. So this is the one I think everyone's been waiting on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I guess the last one on my list then is going to be Elden Ring, Night Rain. I mean, come on, bro. A multiplayer spinoff of Elden Ring? About time. About time.
Yes.
Let's go. Everybody thought it was going to be Elden Ring 2. I guess it's sort of is, but not.
I forgot about that one because I haven't done Shadow of the Erdtree. I haven't beat the base game.
Yeah, the new one will be dropping.
Get back on.
But it's a multiplayer, so I think it's a trio, so you 3 people together. So should be fun.
That's gonna be good.
I don't know.
Baldur's Gate 3 is dropping you can play through all types of from console to PC, so it's connecting more people. Not a new game, but a new way to connect in 2025. I think in a few months, that's dropping, and a couple of friends of mine are like, oh, I only play on Xbox, I only play on PS5, I play PC, and then it's like, but now we can all play together. And just another way they're continually updating and making that former game of the year still relevant and replayable.
Yes, sir. You got any others, or is that it?
I think that's all I got. There's a number that look really cool.
There's too many to list, really.
But yeah,
I just want to throw out the
list...
biggest that I think, I'm interested in. I threw out my favorites.
I
want to hear your favorites, so.
Yeah. I haven't done a lot of Outer Worlds, but Outer Worlds 2 is coming out. So I'm not saying I'm hyped for that yet, but if Outer Worlds turns out to deserve the hype it gets, then maybe I'll get the second one. I've been watching that secret level, and I'm starting to see all the different games. Oh, dude, you gotta get into it. It's like
you know how many shows I have backed up?
I know. Lot of good shows right now, though.
There's so much. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. We covered a decade's worth of gaming greatness, shared our 2025 wish list, kicked off the new year in true High Level Chronicles style, right? I mean, I'm excited for what's on the horizon. Remember, whether you're playing, watching, just enjoying some nice quality cannabis, it's all about leveling up your life. We love hearing from you. Keep sharing all your thoughts at highlevelchronicles.com, HLC Podcast 420 on all your favorite social media. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a review. It helps us out big time. Here's to an amazing year of gaming, good vibes, and staying leveled up. Until next time, stay leveled up. We're out.
Thanks for listening to High Level Chronicles. See you next time.